As you mentioned before, there has been radicalism has emerged among Muslims, not only among Muslims, among Christians and Jews also. But if you look at the three divine books, including Quran, we see that radicalism and extremism is definitely unlawful. It's against what Allah says in the Quran, for example. And there is compassion, mercy, love. And for example, murdering innocent people is definitely unlawful. There is no justification for that. And if any group sends missiles to innocent people and cause murder of innocent people, that is definitely against the Quran. So teaching and education is very important. Teaching the real religion. There is no violence. There is no hatred. There is no enmity. For example, in the Quran, the Jews and the Christians are called people of the book. And Allah tells us to respect them with compassion, mercy, love. Allah says only argue with them in the kindest way. And the monasteries, the churches, the synagogues, Allah says, and the mosques, where Allah's name is mentioned much, are the places to be protected. For example, the Muslim men are allowed to marry the Jewish and Christian wives, and we are allowed to eat the food of the Jews and the Christians. We can socialize with them. And we know from the time, for example, from the Ottoman Empire or the time of the Prophet Muhammad, that there was no problems. In Ottoman Empire, the Jews were brought to Turkey, and we lived for centuries in peace. So this is the normal. What's happening is very abnormal. For example, at the time of the tension between Turkey and Israel, Mr. Adnan Oktar invited the prominent Jewish rabbis and the politicians from Israel, and we had a large press meeting in Turkey showing that there is no problem between two nations, and there was immediate relief in the tension. This is what should happen. Good people coming together with wisdom is very important, like yourself, for example, who are moderate, and you're moderate and you're intellectual. Good people coming together, other people will follow that, we believe.
Yes.
I agree. I would just add a few other thoughts. First of all, in terms of the Middle East, I think that we're very much in need of some vision. We have the discourse or the reality of uncertainty, maybe turmoil, and the discourse of escalating attitudes, but there has to be a sense of vision as well. And as a matter of fact, last year I had the opportunity to cooperate with a number of religious leaders and academics and help conduct a special forum in the city of Akko, which is a actually mixed Jewish Arab city. A good rapport between the religious leaders, even quite interesting. 3 deputy mayors in the city of Akko in Israel, one from the Islamic Party, one from Lieberman's far-right party, and one from the National Religious Sector, which I also belong to, which are considered also on the right side of the political spectrum. Cooperating very well in terms of local politics, interpersonal bonds, which are very good, even though on national issues they very, very much disagree. Yeah. But they understand each other, they understand each other's boundaries. I would also add something else, referring to what you mentioned. The Ottoman Empire, I think particularly in its maybe earlier period, definitely was something of a model for autonomy for different groups, respect for different groups, etc. And I would also add another period of history, the period in medieval Spain, known as by sort of the title or the image of Cordova, the spirit of Cordova, where Muslims and Jews, religious leaders, etc., writers, intellectuals, enriched each other and created that type of bond. I think we have to try to replicate these elements in the Middle East. I think definitely the Ottoman concept of respect for diversity or diversity within unity is definitely something that we can draw some inspiration from. And the Cordova precedent as well, but applied in a way in which the geopolitical tradition or situation is different. There's a sovereign Jewish state of Israel, but represents a Jewish civilization, and that to me is probably one of the most important elements of what Israel is meant to represent, the renewal of Jewish civilization and the best of it. The Arab world as well, taking pride in its civilization, and this mutual enrichment. I think that would be something of a vision and the way to draw on all of these elements in our history involving the Ottoman Empire, involving the Muslim world, the Arab world, etc. These are precedents that we can draw upon.
Yes, Israel will definitely be there as an independent state. And we believe, why should Israel be squeezed in the walls of Israel? And we should take them down, and Israelis, the Jews, can settle down wherever they would like to, like in Jordan, where Abraham, peace be upon him, lived, in Syria, in Turkey, in Egypt, wherever they would like to. They can engage in business and have factories and get rich with progress of science, technology, and arts, and this will definitely happen.